Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So how did Anakin Skywalker acquire his scar? The mystery of the scar has been a rich source of debate, theories and content creation amongst YouTubers for many years. So in this video we'll be exploring something a little different. Let's take a grand old deep dive into the source material, covering the surrounding timeline in depth and the precise moment Anakin received the scar.
This is where the fun begins.
I'll be covering both canon and non-canon material, so be sure to subscribe and share your own theories in the comments. Jumping straight in, and it's fair to say Anakin received a compilations worth of harrowing injuries along his journey towards the dark side.
He's more machine now than man, twisted and evil.
But the scar he received between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith still remains of great interest amongst the fanbase. At the time, George added the scar without any backstory. Its inception was purely cinematic. This leaves the mystery without a canon explanation, which over the years has led to many interesting theories. Meaning the lore fans have acquired over the years regarding the scar is sourced exclusively from non-canon media. With that in mind, let's firstly break down the timeline, starting with the scar's first appearance in canon. Heading back to the very beginning of Revenge of the Sith, Anakin Skywalker appears above Coruscant on a mission to rescue the Chancellor. This scene is the first canon appearance of the scar.
Lock onto him, R2.
Meaning Anakin acquired the facial blow between Attack of the Clones and the aforementioned opening scene of Revenge of the Sith. Now, this is where the mystery of the scar gets very interesting. The period before and after the scar in the timeline has been explored in rich detail, thanks to Star Wars Clone Wars series, released in 2003. The Dark Horse comic, Republic No. 71, released in 2004, and the Clone Wars series, which first aired on October 3rd of 2008.
Wow, it's heavier than I thought.
It's yours.
In both Clone Wars and the Dark Horse comic, Anakin duels with Asajj Ventress. During his first encounter with the Sith Assassin on Yavin 4, Anakin doesn't acquire the scar. In fact, he bests Ventress in a pretty epic battle and ends with her apparent demise. Yet, the Dark Horse comic concludes with a completely different outcome and explains the cause of the scar. Released in 2004, the Dark Horse comic, Republic No. 71, The Dreadnoughts of Rendili, details the now sadly non-canon sequence of events with great detail. This also takes place 1 year before Revenge of the Sith. In the comic, Anakin heads to the lower levels of Coruscant to listen in private to a hologram message from Padme. It's here we discover Sith assassin Asajj Ventress has followed Anakin. Using the Force, Asajj Ventress takes the holodisc and destroys it. Asajj and Anakin begin dueling with their lightsabers. This time, the outcome is very different, as we see Anakin bested by the more powerful Sith assassin. Asajj baits Anakin by threatening the life of Padme. This obviously makes Anakin visibly angry, and the ensuing lightsaber duel is epic and vicious. Not long after, Ventress lands a lightsaber blow to Anakin's face, leaving the mysterious scar. This deeply explored time period makes it all the more incredible that no canon explanation for the scar exists. Back in 2014, when Disney purchased the rights to Star Wars, they began waving their magic non-canon wand on the source material, so we may never again have a reason for the scar. Looking beyond Star Wars media, and George Lucas had once joked that Anakin received the scar slipping in the bathtub.
What did you say?
Like many aspects of the franchise discussed in depth by fans, George joked about the scar because, at the time, no explanation for the scar existed, or needed to for that matter. The movie's non-linear release serves as the greatest reason for fans to be able to speculate constantly about how, why, and when certain events took place.
The thing about Star Wars was, it originally was one movie. It was a movie that got to be too big to be one movie.
The galaxy is huge, with new stories and villains created every step of the way. In researching the topic of Anakin's scar, I also came across some wild theories, including General Grievous defeating Anakin and leaving the scar.
Anakin Skywalker, I was expecting someone with your reputation to be a little older.
There's also a theory that suggests Obi-Wan made the scar by accident when training with Anakin.
You grow too aggressive, Anakin. Be mindful.
Although these work in theory, to me there's an overarching reason as to why the scar exists. My own personal thoughts on the topic led me to believe how Anakin received his scar is arguably less important than what it symbolises.
I know there are things about the Force that they're not telling me.
The scar runs down his face like a constant reminder for revenge every time he looked in the mirror, a desire only a Sith would seek. The scar also represents the ever-changing appearance of Anakin as he steps further down the path to the dark side. To venture even deeper, I believe the scar also represents Anakin's inability to think clearly. Palpatine had begun to manipulate Anakin from a very young age. The loss of Shmi and his love for Padme were just two of the ways in which Palpatine began to twist and tangle Anakin's mind.
It's upsetting to me to see that the Council doesn't seem to fully appreciate your talents. Don't you wonder why they won't make you a Jedi Master?
I wish I knew.
This is represented by the scar. Like a splintered state of existence, Anakin can no longer think as clearly as he had once done. Limb by limb, and one heartbreak after the other, Palpatine had changed the boy we met in The Phantom Menace to the fractured and broken man we see come the end of Revenge of the Sith. So with that in mind, be sure to share your theories in the comments. And which topics would you like to see me cover in future videos? I hope you enjoyed this deep dive. Subscribe for more adventures. And as always, may the Force be with you.